Today we're going to talk about just some basic shop safety for using a 10-inch table saw. We're just going to rip cut this board. So to start with, you always wear your safety glasses. You want to put your board that you're going to cut up to the saw blade or measure it. You want to come around here. This handle is what actually raises your blade up. You want to raise your blade to about 1/4 inch above your wood so you have clearance. You don't want too high, just 1/4 inch will be sufficient. Once you have your blade adjusted just barely above the blade, above the board, excuse me, you want to come back, take a measurement of what you want to cut. This one's 5.5, we'll rip it to 5 inches. You can come over here, move your fence to 5 inches and lock your fence in place. If you don't have a measurement on your fence, you can measure the distance between the fence and the blade with a tape measure to make sure you're accurate. Once you do that, you always want to use some type of push stick, push block to keep your fingers out away from the blade. Line your board up, put your push block on it, turn the saw on. Make your cut. Always allow the blade to come to a complete stop before reaching over and hitting your wood. Anytime you're using a table saw, you never want your fingers to go past the blade. If it does kick back or jam, it's going to come to you. So if your fingers are on this side of the blade, it will come back and it won't cut your fingers. Now that the blade's come to a complete stop, you can see we have a nice clean cut on our board. Another useful item, attachment to go on the table saw is a crosscut saw. To use these, you can actually set them at different angles. We're just going to do a 90-degree cut. Put your blade in it. Measure your wood that you want to cut. Cut this one at 10 inches. Bring it over, line it up to the cut. Hello, today we're going to discuss how to use a chop saw. This is a 12-inch DeWalt compound miter saw. There's many versions available. This is a sliding table chop saw that pulls in and out. And to use this saw, first thing you want to do is make sure you have your safety glasses on. You lay your lumber, your board, in this case is a 2x4 that we want to cut. And we're just going to say we want to cut it 18 inches. And to start, we'll just take a simple tape measure, measure out 18 inches and put a mark on it so we'll know where we want to cut it. On this particular saw, we're in a small cabinet shop, so we also have the luxury of having a sliding bevel gauge that will mark the exact dimensions for us. And by doing that, we just slide it over to the 18-inch mark, tighten it down, and we have a pre-stop. All of them don't come with that. That's just an add-on on this saw that makes it nice. So if you're using it a lot for repetitive cuts, that helps a whole lot in doing it a lot faster. But to do so, we've got our mark made. We want to pull our lumber onto the 2x4, in this case, onto the saw, slide it down to our stop. Make sure that you have it pushed up tight against the fence. You don't want to leave it out because it will catch and pull up and snap. So you want to pull it up tight to the fence. Make sure you're on your mark by pulling the saw down, checking it, and then when you're ready to cut, you slide this one all the way back. The on and off, the trigger in this case is right here on the top. So you will pull it down, again, check your mark. I like to let the saw blade come to a complete stop before raising the wood, just in case something is not perfectly straight, it won't catch and kick out. And then you have your piece that's cut 18 inches. You can check it if you would like, but it will be 18 inches to cut it. You can make it any length, you can cut any width. This particular saw will cut up to about a 12-inch, 12.5-inch board. There's smaller ones, larger ones, so depending on what your saw capacity is how big a board you can safely cut. So I hope this helps you. Have fun cutting. Thank you.